Okay, so I wanted to record a quick video talking about add to landing page congruency because I'm sure you hear me talking a lot about it, you hear other people talking a lot about it, but maybe you're not exactly sure how that works. So I thought, you know what? Let's look at an ad together and I'm going to guess the type of landing page that it's going to take me to see if it carries out the promise on the ad itself. So we're going to do a quick little ad breakdown and then landing page as well. So let's get into it. Yeah. Okay. So this is by IVDD support and it's just a static ad and it says we shouldn't have to watch our dogs lose their legs to IVDD. So here we are because prevention should come before paralysis. So immediately, if you don't know what IVDD is, this ad is not for you. They're calling out to a specific group of people. So now let's look at the primary text of the ad. I'm gonna skim through it because it's a pretty long one, it seems. So let's go. Now, honestly, I'm nervous about sharing this story, but if IBDD or watching your dog drag their back legs in screaming pain is ruining your life, you deserve to know what I discovered. So it opens a loop there because people want to know what did they discover, right? Because my reality for the past 8 months has been absolute hell. Sleepless nights listening for Pickle's cries, $20,000 in emergency surgeries, watching my French bulldog's legs give out without warning. I love this because of how specific it is. 8 months, $20,000. My French bulldog's leg give out without warning. Now, to people who may not be familiar to this, they're like, "Oh, what's so good about that?" But if you know all the stuff that I talk about, you know that specificity is so important when you're selling to women and timeline as well. And this is a good call out for that. So normal walks became impossible. Letting him jump on the couch was off limits. Even petting him turned into a nightmare of checking for signs of another episode. Very, very specific scenario. And people whose dogs with IVDD would know about this. Every single day revolved around obsessively monitoring his movements and living in terror of that 6 a.m. scream that means his spine just ruptured again. Glucosamine and joint supplements barely made a dent. So this is already discrediting all the other things that people whose dogs with IBDD may have tried. And then limiting his activity and buying ramps everywhere was like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. Again, discrediting everything that their customer has tried. One is supplement, and then one is just like other things that are non-supplement wise products that they would have tried and it doesn't work. Even $6,000 surgery didn't prevent recurrence. Nothing addressed the core issue of degenerating spinal discs. Everything was just masking the symptoms while his spine continued breaking down from the inside. So, this is already discrediting everything. And then this is talking about what's actually going on, right? So, this person is pretty much saying, like, it's not solving the root cause of what's going on. I know I said I was going to skim through this, but this is too good not to break down. 3 weeks ago, while doing my usual desperate research at 2 a.m. in the ICU waiting room, I found this research article from some veterinary nutritionist specializing in canine spinal health I never encountered. Oof. Let's break that down as to why that's so, so good, especially if it's selling to women. Number one, you're talking about such a specific moment. This is not a generic pain point that you're just talking about. It's so specific. My usual desperate research at 2 a.m. in the ICU waiting room, I found this research article by some veterinary nutritionist. Now, this does number one, very specific pain call out. Number two is already addressing the authority. So now they're talking about the authority, and then they'll go, and then my guess is that they'll go into why this works. The comment section was absolutely wild. Now, quick call out about this. This is really good as well because if you read some of the stuff that I talk about, I mentioned about how women are very community driven bias, meaning that they read the comment sections on Reddit, your social proof and stuff like that to see what other people are talking about your product. So this immediately when this person talks about the comment section, it's already talking about what other people are talking about. So it's already sprinkling in that community thing that I mentioned. And then right here, it talks about the comments, it talks about the different dogs as well, all these things that all the other different dogs are going through. The headline was absolutely mind blowing. The shocking truth about IVDD that vets don't tell French Bulldog, Dachshund, and Corgi owners until it's too late. So again, opening up another loop, right? Because what is it that these vets are saying? My jaw literally dropped. Best decision I ever made clicking that link. And what I love about this as well, it is such a subtle way of establishing authority because it's not talking about something that it's related to the brand itself or anything of that sort. It comes off as like very organic, right? Because it's a research article. So this research article completely shattered everything I thought I knew about why joint supplements are useless for IVDB. Again, discrediting everything that the person has tried while also introducing authority. And then it goes into saying instead of rebuilding spinal disc integrity and fighting inflammation at the cellular level, they're literally just trying to build cartilage in your dog's knees and hips, which is why nothing that you have tried before has ever worked because it never goes to the root cause of it. Meanwhile, chronic inflammation destroying the disc walls from the inside is still happening. The cellular repair mechanisms that protect the spinal tissue still failing. This creates the endless cycle. Damn it, where was I? Okay. This creates the endless cycle of recurring IVD episodes that get worse each time. And then the veterinary nutritionist revealed a game-changing method. So now they're finally closing the loop, talking about a specific combination of 7 medicinal mushrooms that literally reprogram your dog's cells to strengthen disc walls and fight chronic inflammation and activate blah 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 the myocogard defense system. So you see how they open the loop and then they sprinkle in like very specific pain points, very specific moments that leads up to this person discovering this solution, and then talks about and discredits all the other things that person has tried before, reintroduces a new mechanism, and then talks about how this new mechanism attacks the root cause of all this stuff that this person spoke about before. And then it talks about all the things that this person probably has. So one thing that I want to talk about as well, and that I've said before a lot of times, is that when you're selling to women specifically, if there is an information gap, they usually would fill it in with worst case scenarios. And so I love that this ad does all the things that I always talk about when selling to women, because the other thing that they always do, the other thing that they're doing right now is also reassuring that person that hey, there's it's zero invasive surgery, it's zero waiting for the inevitable, meaning they're giving reassurance that your dog's not going to be in pain, you're not going to waste money on surgery, and you don't have to wait for the result because this approach actually rebuilds the cellular defense system that protects and enables lasting spinal resilience that puppies naturally have. I immediately started giving Pickle these mushrooms chews while we waited for his follow-up surgery. I love this as well because something that people don't consider when they're trying to make people buy their product is that they try too hard to force the product as a singular thing, meaning they're trying to get people to not do other things and use this product instead of integrating the product into the existing things that their customers are already doing, which is much easier. Second thing that I love as well is week 2, his energy came back and he started playing again. Now, again, I always talk about this as well, how important timeline is when you're selling to women so they know exactly what they're going to get. So this addresses that. All these things address that. After 8 months of pure misery and $20,000 in surgeries, I was finally able to sleep through the night. So specific. I freaking love this. I'm actually going to save this into my file, my swipe file of like great examples of how you should sell to women. And this is one of them. Like love, love, love. And then it talks about my entire world shifted because of what I learned. Pickle's surgery was canceled. He's running and he's playing at 7 years old, like nothing ever happened. So I love that. So this ad specifically speaks to people who are solution aware and who are problem aware, right? Because if you look at the ad straight away, if you're not someone who knows about IVDD, you're gonna click off. If you do, you're gonna read on because you obviously want to know what is the best way to prevent something before your dog gets paralyzed. So as I read through this ad and as I consumed everything, or even if I'm someone who is not going to consume everything and I look at this, I'm expecting the landing page that I go to would be a continuation of the message that we talk about here, up here and down here. So let's click through the ad and see if it takes us there. Okay. The first thing that I look at is above the fold because you're going to have 3 seconds to make sure that there's a message match in that. So, from living in fear to living freely, how pet parents are protecting their dog's spine with ancient mushroom wisdom. Prevent IVDD. I love this. It's such a good add to landing page congruency and match because it immediately talks about what they were talking about on the ad. So, just to recap again, the ad says we shouldn't have to watch our dogs lose their legs to IVDD. So here we are because prevention should come before paralysis. And then you click on the ad and it goes from living in fear to living freely, how pet parents are protecting their dog's spines with ancient mushroom wisdom. I love that. So it goes straight into addressing the promise. And then it goes and even the CTA here is protect my dog's spine. So at a first glance, just above the fold, it's addressing what the ad promises, and you can already know all the things that you need to know from the above the fold. So I love the CTA here that is specific to what they promised in the ad, which is protecting their dog spine. I love that they are using trusted by 10,000 plus dog parents. And I love the social proof up here, which is so specific to what the ad promises and to what they're promising as well. And I talk about this time and time again. Do not put random as social proof on your page. Put social proof that is relevant to the funnel, relevant to the person that is coming in from the ad. So look at this. Surgery was canceled after six weeks. Vet couldn't believe the improvement. And I just want to do a quick call out on this as well because look at the photo of the person with the dog. I love that. You know, it adds a human touch to it. Look at the promise because that's what the ad spoke about as well. Immediately tells you the timeline, which is 6 weeks, and then immediately sprinkles in authority as well, saying that the vet couldn't believe the improvement, and down here too. So, really, really great example of ad to landing page congruency. So, okay, guys, that's the end of my Yap Sash. Hope you found this useful. I had so much fun doing this. And I just want to share that with you guys. Okay, bye.